All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Max, and welcome to the Straight Edge Gamer podcast, where I bring it to you alcohol-free, drug-free, and of course, bullshit-free. Yes. Hey, yo, my straight edge, but I don't wear no tats. I'm from San Diego, but don't wear a loser on that. Got a ball head spin like this, and when the rhythm hits 'em, cause I'm sick with it, like a stage 4 cancer victim. I represent the old school like Namco, Sega, Coleco, 8-bit Nintendo. Been gaming since the cradle, mom passed my controller. I won't stop gaming till God says game over. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Straight Edge Gamer podcast, where I bring it to you alcohol-free, drug-free, and of course, bullshit-free. And with me, my guest tonight is Retrogamer 3. Ed, what's up?
Hello, everyone out there in podcast land.
Ah, yes, the podcast land. I'm not sure how big this land is since this is only my second episode, but hey, we'll find out in the near future. For all those who aren't playing the home game, Ed, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, what do you want to know? Like, tell you about my personal life?
Yeah, what are you wearing?
Well, no, I'm just one of those guys here on YouTube, loves video games, and I'm part of that real elite group where you have to have started out playing with like Atari 2600 in order to be inside like this very, very tight sort of like club that we have here. And yeah, just video games since then all the way till now, and dude, it's crazy even when I think about it. So what is that, like 20 plus years or more of just nonstop video games?
God, yeah. I try not to count the years because, man, it makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
Since the first time I actually played a video game was Atari 2600. So
there you go. Then you're part of the tightly the niche here. You're part of the niche.
Okay, so that sounds better than the senior citizens.
Yeah. It's like I don't consider anyone a gamer unless they started out with 2600.
And even if they are younger gamers, you know, I always appreciate the younger guys who actually go out and actually play some of the older games.
Maybe. I would consider it if the very first system you ever played was Nintendo 64. Then don't even talk to me.
Well, what if they got started playing like Xbox 360 and then they saw, like, say they stumbled on the Simpsons Arcade, then they go and start exploring like the older systems, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't have that privilege of growing up, you know, then, you know, they're growing up in today's world where everything is like has little kids going, hey, listen, all that other crap going on, you know?
I know. And this social medias and everyone connected all together. If you actually look at how far it's come, it's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling, yes. Almost headache-inducing, if you will.
Oh yeah, I try not to think about it. Get a migraine, get a tumor.
You know, I never had a chance to ask you this, but what does the 3 mean?
Oh my God. Everybody asks that. It's crazy. Okay, here we go again. I know, every single podcast, I've done it, I've explained it so many times, and it's so stupid too and simplistic.
I'm sorry.
All right. When I first started out, I wanted to be called Retrogamer because I put almost no thought into the name whatsoever, just like a lot of other people did at the time. This was like back in 2008. I didn't have any idea about, you know, gaining any fan base or subscribers or anything like that at the time. And I'm just like, yeah, retro gamer, that sounds pretty cool. That's what I am. It's pretty generic, whatever. Put it in, of course, it's taken. And I put in, okay, retro gamer 1, oh, it's taken. Retro gamer 2, oh, it's taken. Retro gamer 3, oh, that's not taken. And there's the story of how I got it. You know, but when people ask that all the time online, I'll always give like a stupid comment back, like they're like, what happened to Retro Gamer 1 or 2? And I'm just like, I'll just say something like, oh, I killed them in their sleep or something.
You know, speaking of Retro Gamer 1 and 2, I've never came across them. It's probably because they're no longer with YouTube anymore.
Well, it's because I killed them.
Oh, yeah, I'm just...
Yeah, no, I know. They take the stupid names, and it's really dumb too because a retro gamer with no numbers behind it, of course, super popular. I try to get in contact with the person who owns that channel because I literally was gonna buy it from him. I was gonna buy the name off of him with real money. You get no response from it whatsoever. So I don't know what to do. I guess that channel will just stay forever because YouTube will never delete it, and they'll never ever get a chance to get a hold of it.
You know, it's funny because I remember one time I was listening. I believe I was listening to the Archfiend once.
Oh, I love him.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I think Archfiend once mentioned that they were actually going to start deleting YouTube channels that were no longer being active.
They say that they are, but I think that it's such a slow process.
It must be because I mean there must be at least thousands of channels just starting up on a daily basis. I mean, their server. I'm surprised YouTube servers have not crashed yet. I am serious.
It's ridiculous. I know.
It really is. It really is. And it's funny too because a lot of these channels that open up, a lot of them really, a lot of them are like these like generic gaming channels, or the ones that are infamous are the YouTube commentators, the ones who play like Call of Duty videos, and like you'll see them too. Like they actually have absolutely no skill. They're the ones who they'll shoot a couple of guys, they'll get their kill streaks, then they'll say, "Oh, look, I got 100 kills." Really? Did you do it on your own, or did you use the VTOL warship? You know?
Tell me about it. That's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but those videos or anything like that are so boring to me at all. Or they're just so boring to me that it's kind of like, I watch the videos because I'm not really watching it for the game. I'm watching it for the person.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're just like a voice in the background, that's okay, I guess, for some people, but like not for me, because I want to know you as like a person. I want to see your face. I want to see how you act. What do you look like? But if you're just a voice in the background, there are so many of those now that it just becomes diluted in my mind.
It is. It's so oversaturated with these guys.
Oh, it is ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, way too ridiculous.
And we were talking about this the other day too. That
Yeah.
With the new systems coming out, with the share button on the PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And the mass multimedia that's all connected to the Xbox One. Now it's just going to be an ocean of everybody who's playing a game is basically going to be shared on the internet.
Yeah, that's.
What is that even gonna? What is that gonna produce even?
You know, I just have a feeling we're gonna see a bunch of these videos that are gonna have absolutely not even any commentary on it. They're gonna be these. There's gonna be these random clips with these games like these really bad gameplays, not even good gameplays. Like I don't mind gameplay videos, like just regular gameplay videos, nothing on them, no commentary, anything. Take for instance like Portal 2. You know, my wife and I, we actually played through Portal 2, and anytime we got stuck, we just we got on YouTube and we were able to see what they did and try to emulate that same play style. And you know, 9 times out of 10 we got successful.
Yeah,
you know,
whenever I've gotten stuck, I've gone on YouTube, of course, to check something out. It just seems easier than just randomly trying to Google it and then, you know, try to look it up because, some of them are really, really long and really detailed. So it's like yada, 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 where I could just watch like a 3-minute video and be like, oh, that's how it's done.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't do that yet. I was playing Super Metroid recently. And I got to Ridley, and I haven't killed him yet. I don't know if I'm missing a couple of energy tanks. I don't know if I don't have enough missiles, but I'm getting killed by this guy. So I'm like, I haven't thought about that. I should have went on YouTube. I probably would have found a way to kill him by now.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I played that game. It's so funny. It's like you think it's just like those old games. You know, you always think that you can that you know them from the back of your hand because you've beaten them so long ago. You think it's like riding a bike, then you go and try to play them again.
Yeah.
And then you get totally destroyed. You're like, I don't remember it being this fucking hard.
Oh, I know. It just comes with age, too.
It does.
Yeah, I remember going back to certain games and stuff and just being like, I don't remember it being this tough. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, and you're all frustrated.
Exactly. It happened to me with a game called Shinobi. Remember that game?
Oh God! I just got what was it? The Genesis collection, Sonic's Genesis collection for Xbox, and it's on there, and it's like one of the most impossible games.
You're talking about Revenge of Shinobi, right?
No, normal Shinobi Arcade is on there, and
oh, nice!
It is one of those most.
That is fucking brutal, though.
Yeah, it's one of the most impossible games that you ever play in the arcade. It is damn hard. I mean, there is a you can save your states on it like an emulator, and without it, there's no way you're gonna pass that end stage. There is a specific stage at the end where all these ninjas start flying around the screen, the flying ninja stage, and anyone who's played Shinobi will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, you're talking about the first part of when you first get to the first part of the last level, isn't it? Or is it the second part?
Yeah, or it's like the second part. You're in
right, and there's like a bunch of like bamboo in the background and stuff like that, and there's like these.
Never pass that part. It is so hard.
I actually finished. This is gonna be hard to believe, but I actually finished the first Shinobi game on Sega Master System with one man. I was dedicated. I tried it recently. I was like, I can probably do it again. Oh my God, I get clowned so hardcore on the like the third level, the one with the these little things that are spinning around. They're like these. You have to shoot them. They're like a stack zone. They look like Tetris. Yeah. You gotta shoot those guys down. If you don't have the pistol in the game, you can't beat it. They made it that.
I remember there were unique weapons or something in that one too. Right? Yeah, I remember bombs and nunchucks and stuff.
Yeah, oh God, the bombs sucked. But the the gun was like, if you got that, oh my God, it made the game like easy almost. Yeah. But until you got to those flying ninjas, oh my God, then you start losing all your lives and shit.
Yeah, and in the arcade version, it's one of those arcades that if you die out all your men on the end level, you don't get to continue.
Oh my God! Yeah.
But you're right back at the beginning again.
You know, I'm gonna give you a spoiler right now though. If you beat Shinobi on the Master System, there is no ending. It just says game over. Oh, so basically, if you lose at Shinobi, you've already seen the end of the game. I think I've seen a couple games like that. I've yet to see like many games that have done that, where it just said game over.
Karnoff just says congratulations.
That's it, but at least it says congratulations. It doesn't say like game over.
Well, it might as well say.
It might, huh?
It's the same thing as the game over screen. They just put congratulations on instead.
That's so fucking. That's just lazy. To me, that's just lazy development.
I guess they don't expect the gamer to actually end it or something.
That, or they just don't expect you to finish it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To me, they're like, oh wow, you finished the game. God, I don't know what to do. Game over.
Yeah, game over. We ran out of space. Game over. Wait, we ran out of time. The game's got to go out. Okay, game over.
Well, hey Ed, we're passing my break mark here, so we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna have some more Retrogamer 3, and we're gonna be talking more about these reviewers. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. So, do you got game? Well, the folks at GotGame.com got Mad Game. This site is packed with up-to-date gaming news and second-to-none web shows like Irate Gamer Neo and the Straight Edge Gamer Show, to name a few. Register today at GotGame.com for free and connect with users just like you. So, if you want game, get game at GotGame.com. That's GOTGAME.com. GotGame.com. I love my 3DS, but I'm not a fan of platformers, so my 3DS game selection is kind of narrow. So, what's an action game junkie like myself supposed to do? I know, how about hitting up the old Nintendo eShop for some urban trial freestyle? For those who've never played a Trials game, think of it as Excitebike on crack. Lots of crack.
I'm gonna tell you something about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know. I smoke rocks.
You don't race anybody. You just gotta get from point A to point B. But trust me when I say it's a lot easier said than done. Between points A and B are obstacles that'll have you landing on your face more than your wheels. As frustrating as that sounds, I was never tempted to throw my handheld because, well, I was always able to learn from my mistakes, enabling me just to get a little bit further.
Crack.
Get from point A to B fast enough and you'll unlock more tracks and can earn cash to pimp out your bike and rider so you can land on your face in style. If you're badass enough to finish all the tracks, you can build your own. Too bad you can't race them online though. Overall, Urban Trial Freestyle is fun, addictive, and challenging. Top that off with the cheap price of $6.99 US and you've got yourself the total package. Urban Trial Freestyle gets a 4 out of 5. Now back to the show. All right, welcome back to the Straight Edge Gamer podcast with my special guest, Retrogamer 3. And before break, what the fuck were we talking about besides Shinobi?
We're gonna talk about like I don't know, other reviewers or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, let's dive into like your rise actually. You know how you you started out just like everybody else. You know, had a small time channel, wanted to do some videos. You know, now for those who don't know, you were heavily inspired by Angry Video Game Nerd. Is that correct?
Yes, along with a lot of other people. Yeah, it was mostly, we saw him, and it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to completely copy what he was doing. It just looked like that it was fun, like just to come out. Here you got like, a guy he's practically the exact same age as me, and he's coming out of nowhere, and, he's acting like a jackass, and it was funny, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, so, it doesn't seem like it's that embarrassing to just, screw around with some old video games and make a video out of it and throw it up on YouTube and see what happens, right?
Right. So one video that actually got you on the map was a review for Angry Video Game Nerd. Was that correct?
Oh yeah, it was for. Okay, well, what happened first was, I'll start from the beginning. I'll try not to take too long with it. I think it was his original DVD that he came out with. I had noticed that people that were talking about the DVD when they got it, he was favoriting them on his channel. So this was way back in the day when you could actually see everything that person was favoriting, and you could see those videos and what they were. And I looked at them and I'm just like, well, they're just kids and they're not really reviewing it or anything. They're just like, oh, I bought the DVD or whatever. So I'm like, well, what happens if I do a review of it, try to do a halfway decent job of it, and we'll see if I send it to James, if he'll actually favorite it. And so that's what I did. I reviewed his original DVD. I had a white shirt that was the same as his. I had like a nerd shirt, and I put it on, and I did that, and it worked. He actually put it on his favorites, and a lot of people saw it, and they liked it too, and a lot of people saw it and subscribed to me just because James had favorite that video. Now, flash forward a little bit, and I was pretty excited about that. And then he came out with his, it was Volume 3, I believe. Yeah, Volume 3, the one with the green case,
right,
of his DVD, yeah. And I thought to myself, okay, well, from what I got out of the original one that I did, I'm like, I'm gonna go full blown with this one. Okay, no holds barred. I'm gonna completely copy James's style, because you always get that those comments back in the day of, oh, this is just another James ripoff, blah blah blah. Because
right.
Seriously, a lot of people at the time were trying to copy James, right? And so I was like, okay, you're going to call me that, even though I wasn't really trying to copy him. But I'm like, I sort of wanted to throw it back into those guys' face. I'll be like, you want to see copying? Okay, this is copying.
Nice.
And I did an entire video that was like just full blown, one of the best ones I ever did. And it was all in Angry Video Game Nerd style. I dressed up like him. I had the glasses. You guys did that awesome intro song. Yeah, you and your friend did that awesome intro song for it. It was just, oh my God, perfect.
If I can just quickly mention, A Flunky or Artie actually never heard the Angry Video Game Nerd song.
What?
When he never heard the song before he recorded that.
How did he sing it so perfectly?
I don't know. He said that he went off the bass line that I did. I did like I did the music with some bass line and like a little bit of the synthesizer. He went off of that.
Amazing.
But he did not hear an Angry Video Game Nerd theme song prior to making that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by that.
Wow. I had no idea. That's just wow. And yeah, so I blew up with that video, and then what I did was when I was done with it, and I thought it looked so bloody good, I emailed when I uploaded it. I emailed James, and I asked him, just because people email him all the time. This was a total shot in the dark that he would actually see this video. I emailed it to him and wanted to tell him what he thought, or listen to see what he thought of it.
Right.
And he actually sent me 2 emails back. He sent me one email back first saying that it was literally the funniest thing he ever saw on YouTube, period. And I was like, oh wow, right? He
Nice.
also said he also said it was the best parody of him ever. And then he sent me an email after that saying that he was wondering if I bought all those copies of the DVD that I destroyed, and that if I was ever going to show up to a convention, that he wanted to see those destroyed copies, and he wanted to sign them for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was pretty flipping out at that one.
That is cool. It's really cool to meet someone that you kind of look up to.
Yeah. Well, you guys have met him.
You've actually never met him, huh?
I've never met him because I'm way up here in Canada.
Yeah, that's right, you're in Canada. Yeah.
Any convention that he does is super far away, right?
Yeah. The Screw Attack usually does the Screw Attack gaming convention. He did show up to Comic-Con one year, and I did get a chance to meet him then. I got a picture with him.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
awesome.
I felt kind of like a dick because the guy who took the picture was Pat the NES Punk, and I didn't know who he was at the time. But now that I know, I felt kind of bad about that. I actually apologized to him about it, and he said, "No worries, you were there to see James." He said so.
Yeah,
he was very
Pat.
humble about it.
Yeah, no, Pat. Yeah, Pat's a good guy too.
Really
I saw him. He was on TV. Did you know that?
Right. He was on 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah,
I recognized him. I didn't even know he was going to be on it because I don't keep up with him. He probably told everyone way ahead of time he was going to be on.
Well, actually, no. I did know that he was on an episode of 1,000 Ways to Die. I didn't know which one, but it was actually a really fitting episode. Now
it was
funny
the video
because
game
they listed him
one,
as
yeah.
a game historian, and it is true because he does have a really insane collection of Nintendo games.
Yeah. And I just recognized his voice in the background. I was on the computer and I just had it on in the background. I'm like, I recognize that voice. And I looked over there. I'm like, oh my God, it's Pat. He's on TV.
Yep, on Spike.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, too bad he was only on there for like 10 seconds. But hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they say, 10 seconds of fame or whatever, 15 seconds. It really is 15 seconds sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did get a chance to meet some of those guys, Like I said, Angry Video Game Nerd, really nice, really humble and stuff.
Of course,
one guy people wouldn't think would be humble or be like that was Irate Gamer. A lot of people.
No. I know he's supposed to be a really, really nice guy.
He is
people get that. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. A lot of things that we do in these videos are not us in real life. Like,
exactly.
It's not, people take it so seriously and they're like, oh, is that what you really believe? Like all of a sudden, you're a racist and you're this and you're that. and
Oh,
James
God, yeah.
and all these guys, if you meet them, they're not really like that.
Oh, no,
okay, that's
James
just a character.
James is so he's very quiet. He's actually, kind of.
Yeah, I know everything about his personality.
like
so much that
he
what?
seems kind of shy. He seems
he's
like
very
a shy guy.
he's very, very shy.
Yeah, it's funny.
And you know what? I actually, in real life, so many people are like, oh, I'd love to hang out with James and play some games with him and stuff like that. And I'm thinking in my mind, no, you wouldn't. I'm like, you want to hang out with the Angry Video Game Nerd and play games with him. You don't want to hang out with James and play games with him because you're just going to be completely disappointed. And I thought to myself the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Mike Matei, I'd rather hang out and play games with that guy. Well, personality-wise, right? I mean, he's actually the what do you call it? He's almost the drive or the he's the punchline really.
Oh, yeah.
Behind everything in Cinemassacre, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, those two.
I think tons of those ideas have come from him. Like James will say something, and I bet Mike he'll pass it. He'll run everything by Mike, and Mike will just be like, "No, I got a great idea. I'll dress up in the Bugs Bunny costume, and you take a diarrhea shit right on my face, right?" Like,
Yep.
That doesn't sound like James. That sounds like Mike idea.
if you think about, I never thought about that way. It probably is. I'm pretty sure if we asked him, or perhaps one day we'll, maybe I can, maybe you can email this podcast to him because he recognizes your email, and then he could be like, "Oh, just
that was years ago. He's a super internet star now. He ignores everybody."
Maybe not. Maybe not. He never. I did once send him a tweet. I sent him a tweet with the. It was the same year that he went, that I met him, and it was the signing of the Twilight poster by Kevin Smith.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I actually tweeted him that, and he remembered. So he was like, "Oh, that's some good shit."
Huh.
So he did remember that I was there, because I got in front of the microphone, in front of the camera, in front of like a couple thousand people, and asked, Kevin Smith to sign, "Fuck Twilight" all over a Twilight poster.
I know. I saw that, and he said that was a
it
bargain at any price.
Oh yeah, it really was. It really was.
Twilight all over this thing. Beautiful. And I really look up to Kevin Smith, because Kevin Smith is one of those directors that, again, started out with nothing. Like, he was not born into the business. He didn't know anybody in the business or anything like that. And he started with nothing. And, look at some of the fantastic movies and characters that he's created.
Well, he started out as a comic book writer,
Yeah.
He was a writer first. Then, that wasn't his first passion, though. His first passion was, filmmaking.
Yes.
So, he got into writing first. Then, because of all his script writing and stuff, he figured, hey, I could do comic books first. And which, by the way, is not a very easy thing to get involved in. I actually found, I'm finding out the hard way, because, there's a couple comic books there's a comic book I want to write. But I started talking to some of the executives over at Marvel while I was at Comic-Con this year. And some of them, they said, man, writing is a lot harder to do. He said the best way, he goes, right now it's easy. It's easier to get picked. It's easier to get noticed because of the internet. A long time ago, you had to snail mail everything. These days, you can just, if you need to, you can just reach out to like other artists, or a community full of comic book makers, and then show them your work. And from there, you can network with other people, and they may have somebody in the industry that you can network with.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely,
it is the back door now. The internet to me has been the back door to Hollywood. It's been the back door to the comic book industry. Has been the back door to the porn industry. Everything.
Oh, everything. It's all connected.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's you can get in contact with people over the internet that you would never have a chance to get, like, in either the old school way, by phone or by mail or something like that.
It was a lot harder, but it was a lot harder then,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Way harder.
Yeah, and we're obviously not the only people that think that way, because there's a lot of those other reviewers who come in, the guys who are really carbon copy. You can spot them like a mile away, and you can tell that they're only here. They're only at YouTube. They're only there for like the money, or they think they're going to get money.
Let's touch on that subject.
Yeah,
right
definitely.
There. Yeah, because that is basically. I know you can't stop it. It doesn't make me mad or anything like that, or frustrated. But I mean, seriously, the most question that I get asked all the time is, it's like, how do I do this or how do I do that? And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're just, like, how do I get more subscribers? How do I get more views and everything like that? And I'm like, well, no one knows. Does anyone know? Like, you could try to look up some videos about it, but you're just going to get scammed. There
are a lot of those. The ones I don't like are the guys who use the fave bots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Know how they even
work.
do
That's all crap. That's all garbage. And basically, all they care about is exactly that. How much monetizing their videos and putting ads on their videos as much as they can, and thinking that they're going to get this revenue from it or something like that, or trying to get. I'm like, you're just starting out with a channel. And you're like, okay, how old are you? Okay, you're like 17 years old or 18 years old. And, you have a few Nintendo games or whatever, right? Like nothing spectacular.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you trying to get into this game right now you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, because I could practically write the book on like what it takes to get into this, whatever you want to call it, get into this retro gaming niche. And it's only because, a lot of the bigwigs on YouTube that are in that area, are close friends of mine and stuff like that. And, you have to have the main thing you have to have right away, which is ridiculous, is it doesn't matter how crappy your video looks, as long as you have a collection of like 10,000 video games or something like that. It's like you got tons of systems of all the old school systems. You got all the Nintendo games, all Sega Genesis games, blah, blah, blah. And then all you do is walk around with your camera and slowly be like, oh yeah, here's all my Nintendo games and here's all my Genesis games. And people like that for some reason. You'll get more subscribers and more views based on your collection, more than how good your video is, how good your content is, and how much personality you have. People care about your collection more than you.
Yeah, it is probably straight. That's probably why I haven't hit 1,000 subs yet. I don't have 10,000 games, but the games I collect, see, to me, it's not about quantity, it's more about quality, because the type of games I collect are the games that I really want to play. I've had opportunities to buy, when I go to the same swap meets as Pat. And sometimes I come across those boxes full of Atari 2600 games, or those boxes full of like old NES games. But I don't want to get them because they're not all the games I want to play. There's certain games there's certain games from my childhood that I enjoy playing. And I've done
that too. That's what I like to call just like picking and choosing.
It really is.
Your favorites. Not to say like I have every single. That's what bugs me too. It's like, okay, yeah, you've got every single Nintendo game ever, but have you ever played them all? No, I don't really play video games. I just collect them. See, there's a difference between a gamer and a collector. Right. Those guys are collectors. And, me and you and a lot of other people are gamers, okay? We actually, pick up the games and actually play them. And I don't just mean old ones. I mean new ones too. It's kind of like, someone will go out of his way to buy all these new games. But then I ask them and they're like, oh, no, I still got like the wrapper on that one. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm like, what?
I have a few games like that, but I've made a copy of it that I can play, a playable copy.
That's different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, the guy that just kind of has an obsession with buying video games, but he fills up it's like filling up your plate so much that you just can't eat it all. It's like you got all these games and you just don't have time to play them all. So they kind of just, they kind of just rack them up and now it's just a part of your collection, but you haven't played any of them. And why did you buy it really? Like if there was a game that I really wanted to play, do you really think I could keep that plastic wrapper on it? There's no fucking way.
No, I played that. Yeah, if somebody sold me even if I bought like a box copy of Super Metroid, I'm tearing that box off. I'm playing that game, man.
Oh yeah, fucking rights. Definitely. So, there is a difference between a gamer and a collector, because a lot of the guys too, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they don't play video games. That's all there is to it. It's a what do you call it? It's kind of like, I'm not going to say conning people, but it's kind of pulling the wool over a lot of the viewers' eyes, because basically we can do whatever we want and edit the videos and say whatever we want, and people are basically going to believe whatever it is that we say, right? So if one person is just like, he's got a huge collection of video games in the background, or he's done a walkthrough of his house and look at all these video games and stuff, and continuously does videos and shows himself, talking about a game or stuff like that, chances are he has not played that game since like 1982 and probably never hardly ever picks up video games ever and plays them in his life. He's just a collector.
What scares me about collectors is that, actually what's becoming kind of scary is, a long time ago, before YouTube, and I mentioned this before on an episode of Straight Edge Gamer, that retro games are starting to become scarce, and the ones who are really trying, and the ones who are collecting the games and not playing it, in a way, I'm glad. That's great that it's glad, I'm happy they have their collection. But there's people out there who really would like to play those games. And it's kind of like, why are you holding on to it if you're never going to play it? When there's like tons of people out there, retro gamers like yourself and me, who would kill to play that game,
Oh yeah, it's because you know why? They're selfish. That's why you have to admit
Definitely.
they're very selfish and they're really self-centered.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not they're not generous people at all. It's almost like greed. You know, it's like, ah, it's my collection. You know, it's like, oh,
and
I've
it's
got
funny
it. No
too
one else is going to
because
touch it. And then they try to brag too. It's like they got these bragging rights too. Oh, look at how big. Oh, I've got, you know, blah, blah, blah amount of games. You know, how many do you have? And really, in my mind, that's not bragging. That's actually going the opposite direction.
no,
You're
that's
kind
just
of
pissing
looking,
someone off. That's what it
yeah,
is.
you're pissing someone off doing that with your attitude and kind of like, I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh, okay, you've got like, what do you got? You got like 2,000 Nintendo games, but yet you still take the bus to work.
Oh man. And you know what they think if they hold on to it? They think it's like, I think the trend is these days that collecting these old games, they're thinking that it's somehow gonna it's somehow going to double in value or it's going to
No,
mature in
fuck
value
no.
like the comic books do.
Fuck no,
And
they
it's
never
not.
will.
They see there, and the thing is, these people are so bent on thinking that way that they're literally
They're
willing to
wrong.
spend their entire fortune
Yep.
finding like copy. The only time they're ever going to profit are you know their specific titles. You know, maybe Earthbound in the box. You know,
But let me tell you this though, okay? Over the course of me using eBay practically ever since it was invented and buying old school video games off of it, I have never seen a price change ever in all those years. I mean, if okay, Earthbound is worth a certain amount of money because it's rare. Okay.
Right.
Now it's never gonna increase over that. What is it, like $100 or $200? Whatever. Let's just say it's like $200. It's never all of a sudden gonna be 300 and then 400 and then 500. I've never seen it different. It's like if a Nintendo game is $10, it's been $10 forever. I mean,
yeah.
look at Zelda. Look at Zelda. Has Zelda ever changed? I mean, it should have gone up in price. Or maybe something like Contra, the original Contra, because it's so old. You know, it's always pretty much $15. It's never changed. So you can look at any one of those games and never ever see them change. The only if it was expensive because it was rare, it's still not really gonna get any more than what it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just you know that's just how it is. I guess you know just people they just don't get it. I'm not sure when they're gonna get it, but by then it'll probably be too late. They'll be all broke. They'll probably be selling all their stuff at the same flea market that they probably bought it from.
And
Probably
those are
for
what those
less, selling it
people
for
are.
less. Yeah, and they're probably selling it for less because they have to get rid of it now. Because
Yeah,
all it's
now
doing is collecting dust. They got their girlfriend or wife saying, "God, get rid of this shit, please."
I know, because it takes up so much space.
Exactly.
And so many people tell me about that too. And I'm like, you know, I have a pretty vast retro gamer collection myself. I mean, I'm not the type of guy to come out with the quote unquote bragging rights or anything like that. But you know what I mean? I've got hundreds of Nintendo games, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I've got all the systems too and everything like that. And people are just like, oh, well, you know, why don't you like put them all out or something like that? And it's because I'm like, dude, because the decor of my house is just like, do I want it to look like a 5 or 10-year-old kid's bedroom? No.
Or do you want to look like you're hoarding?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm like, it's
I see
ugly. It's personally, to me, it's ugly.
It looks
and
like a
that's
game.
why James, yeah, if you look at Angry Video Game Nerd, where he films is like downstairs in like in a dungeony basement, everything all out of the way. But you've obviously seen videos of his house upstairs. There's not a video game in sight.
No,
because you wouldn't want people to see that. I'd be embarrassed to have people come over and be like, have all these video games all over. Like, seriously, I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, I know. I keep everything in a like a man / he/she cave. You know?
And I have that too. And I still don't have that. I still don't have any video games out. I have like my Xbox.
Oh
and,
yeah, I have like
I got new school video games lying out.
Right. Like the Kinect or the Wii, you know, with the Wii Fit and all that stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be there for party games.
Exactly. But if it's just me. You know, other people are different. It's just my personal opinion that I feel embarrassed if I would have someone come over and have what is essentially these child games all over the place, because that's really what they are. I mean, let's get down to what it really is. These are games that were designed for kids, and they were designed for children. So it's, it's no different in my mind than having like my little niece's Fisher Price toys all over the place, except you know what I mean, like displayed in cabinets and stuff. It's just doesn't make sense. So, I have all that stuff, but they're all boxed up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we're coming to the end of the show. Yeah, I have a very short. This show's kind of short. It doesn't go like 2 hours long.
I think we covered a lot.
Oh yeah, we definitely did. So any final thoughts you want to give for to the audience at home?
Just if you're coming out with like Call of Duty gameplay videos and anything that has to do with a zombie add-on for any type of video game and putting it on YouTube, do me a favor and do everyone a favor and just don't put it on, please. That's my final tip.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah.
No more Call of Duty videos.
No more, please.
More zombie video
I actually have Call of Duty footage, but I don't even put it out there. I don't. The last video I did was like a two camera angle deal, and I said, "Here, you're gonna do a commentary, do it like this." But no one's going to, because they don't want to take the time to do all the editing. It'd be too much trouble. It's so much easier just to talk like this while the gameplay is going on, and I got 100 kills.
No, seriously. If you typed in Call of Duty on YouTube right now, how many gameplay videos would pop up?
Way too many. Way too many. FPS Russia was like the only smart one. He actually decided to do something else with his channel.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that said, just want to thanks Retrogamer 3 for showing up to the show tonight, and look out for a new series. Our new series coming out, which is Gaming Synergy. That's the name.
Synergy.
That's the new show. We've so far it's been a hit with Double Dragon. So tune in, see what we're gonna play next. I think you guys will enjoy it. Until next time, stay true, stay you.